All right. So I said I wasn't going to do a game, but that doesn't mean that Ernie Harwell can't do a game. So what we're going to do tonight is a very heavily tweaked, reworked original franchise All-Stars, 32 teams in this, which the Brooklyn Dodgers and LA Dodgers have their own teams, New York Giants and San Francisco Giants. You know what I'm talking about. So we're going to get ready, and then I'm going to let Ernie call this one. This is a really, really, really fun project. Just having fun, and if people come in, that's cool. Just came from Mike's Strat broadcast. He is doing a different sort of a one and done tournament using a lot more modern teams, but great stuff using Stratomatic baseball. So tonight we got to watch the 93 Blue Jays and the 84 Tigers. So absolutely no spoilers there, but good stuff. So let us pick a game to play, and we're going to go on. And Ernie Harwell is going to take over the mic duties here. And for those of you coming in after, hopefully this is something you just listen to while you're at work. All right, here we go. Well, let's see. What do we got here? Who's going to play today? Crowd's going to start on us here in a minute. Braves and the New York Giants. There we go. Playing at the Polo Grounds today. And I like to keep the manager the same, so we're going to use the micromanager, Johnny McCoy. He comes with the game. He's an excellent manager. You can usually use him through everything. So I'm going to cut the mic here in a moment and just let this play and have a lot of fun. Thanks to everybody who's been coming to our Boston.com tournament. That's going to be cool stuff. All right, Ernie Harwell takes over the mic. Here we go.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Ernie Harwell, and welcome to New York Giants baseball. Keep your windows open and let the baseball in. We've got plenty of action here on APBA. We're coming to you from out here at the park where the Giants will host the visiting Atlanta Braves. Overall, they now stand at 1 wins and 1 losses. This is the third of a 3-game set. The Giants have won 1 and lost 1. The Giants take the field here in the first. Let's see. Here's how it lines up defensively for the Giants. Terry at first base. Frisch at second. Jackson the shortstop. Lindstrom at third. The outfield consists of Youngs in left field. Donlin in center field. And Ott over in right. Bresnahan is behind the plate and on the mound for the Giants. The right-handed Keith. He's a strikeout pitcher, a controlled pitcher. He will be facing Brave starter, right-hander Maddox. So settle in. We're ready to start this game. Bruton leading it off. Bill can hit to date, batting 1 for 6. He's walked once. He's stolen 1 base. Bresnahan set. Now Keith pitches. Fastball right across the plate. Strike 1. Bruton back in the box. Pitcher Keith set to go. He lets it go. lofted down the line to right. Racing over. He won't get it. He cuts it off. Bruton wisely holds first. He's on with a single. It's now beyond the bat. He swings from the right side for Atlanta. No outs. Bruton down at first. A very steady hitter. Looking for his first hit. 0 for 6. He's walked once. Bresnahan talking with Keith. They want to hold Bruton close. Pitcher Keith set to go. He brings it in. Grounded deep into the hole. Jackson is over. He's got it. The long throw to first. 1 down. Bruton moves up. Okay, here's left-handed McGriff to take his swings. The Braves have 1 gone. Bruton standing out at second. Fred can pound the ball. This is his second game on the year. 0 for 4. Keith on the rubber, glances back at the runner. Keith working on Bruton to hold him close to the plate. McGriff lofts a routine fly ball to center. Donlin has it measured, takes a step back, and pulls it down. Bruton held up, and now he tags, but they're holding him at second as the ball is returned to the infield. One on. Aaron is out to get his licks. He bats right. He's their cleanup hitter. Watch out with Hank at the plate. So far at the plate, 1 for 9. 1 homer, 3 ribbies. The slugger stands in. Keith gets set to pitch. Bruton stretching his lead. Keith brings it home. Aaron sends this ball airmail to left. Young slopes after it. Should be routine. And he makes the catch. Side retired. For the Braves, nothing across. 1 left. They fail to capitalize on the runner. Braves, nothing. Giants coming up. For the Braves, overall, they now stand at 1-1 on the league leaderboards. They're 6th in batting average at 179. On top in homers with 5. Tied for second in runs. 3rd in slugging. Tied for second in stolen bases with 1. The Braves take the field here in the first. Manager McCoy sends out his squad this way. McGriff at first base. Meon at second. Jones, the shortstop. Matthews at third. The outfield consists of Bruton in left field, Murphy in center field, and Aaron over in right. Torrey is behind the plate, and on the mound for the Braves, the right-handed Maddox. This is Maddox's first start of the season. No record yet. After 1 game, his ERA at 0. A controlled pitcher. Here's Youngs to start it off, hitting from the left side. Pretty good with a stick. To date, 1 for 9. Batter ready. Torrey ready to receive. Now he comes home with it. Swung on, and it's chopped down the first baseline. McGriff takes the high hop. He flips to Maddox, covering, and they get him. Here's Bresnahan. Roger, a strong hitter so far at the plate. 2 for 9. Roger has a good eye. Bresnahan gets in there. Maddox looking in at the target. Now Maddox pitches. And it's hit on a line to right center. Murphy with a long run. He'll get there. Bresnahan is gone. 2 gone. Giants hitter Terry. He gives any pitcher fits. To date at bat, 5 for 9. The slugger stands in. Maddox prepares to come home. The offering to Terry. Batted slowly toward first. McGriff feels it and feeds Maddox coming over for the putout. Maddox sets them down in order. No score in the game. We go to the top of the second inning. Matthews, Torrey, and Murphy due up for Atlanta. Matthews, the leading off. Exceptional power on the year. 2 for 9. It's hard to keep Matthews off the base pass. Keith poised. Keith winds and fires. Matthews smashes one down the line. Lindstrom grabs it near the bag. He wings a long throw to first and gets Matthews by a stride. One away. Torrey is stepping up to hit against Keith. One gone. Joe, a slugger. To date, at bat 1 for 7. He's walked twice. He'll wait for his pitch. Keith prepares to come home. The pitch comes in. Popped up. Bresnahan scrambles near the stands. It's playable. And he makes the catch. 2 away. Here's Murphy coming to the plate. Dale, a strong hitter on the season. 3 hits in 5 trips. 2 home runs, and he's driven in 2. He's walked once. Keith prepares to come home. Now the pitch. And Murphy has hit it deep left center. It has serious distance. Will it hit off the wall? No! It's long gone. A home run for Murphy. So Murphy has his 3rd homer of the season. He's now homered in 2 straight games. Now leading the league in home runs. And the Braves go ahead by a run, 1-0 here in the second. And Murphy now has 3 runs batted in on the season. Next batter, Jones. Chipper can pound the ball. So far, 1 for 3. 1 homer, 2 ribbies. Chipper waits. Keith ready. The pitch. Slow bounder to the right side. Brish is there. He juggles it, throws quickly. Just in time, and the side is retired. For the Braves, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. And they capture the lead. Giants on the short end, 1-0. And they'll try to get it back coming up. Ott, Lindstrom, and Brish to bat next. Ott, the leading off. Excellent credentials with the stick. Looking for his first hit. 0 for 7. He's walked twice. Now Maddox ready. Maddox with the pitch. Ott smashes one down the line. Matthews grabs it near the bag. He wings a long throw to first and gets Ott by a stride. 1 away. Here comes Lindstrom to take his cuts. The crowd's anxious to see Fred take his hacks on the season. 4 for 9. Maddox looking in. The pitch. Hit in the air to center. Murphy takes 3 steps to his right, taps the glove. He has it, 2 gone. Frisch gets set to face Maddox, 2 down. He is dangerous. So far, 4 for 6. He has 4 RBIs. He's walked twice. Maddox prepares to come home. Now the pitch. Swung on, a blast to center. Murphy runs straight back, turns and reaches, and takes it in. 3 away. So the Giants go in order. Giants still with a 1-run deficit. Maddox, Bruton, and Mion to bat next. To get it going for the Braves here, Maddox bats from the right. Gregg taking his first at bat of the season. Maddox steps up to the plate. Keith looking home. Keith comes to him. There's a little tapper to the right side. Terry hesitated coming in, and Keith is just watching from the hill. Maddox legs it out. He's on with a single, and that's his first hit this season. We have Bruton to bat for the Braves. He bats from the left side for Atlanta. Maddox on at first, no one out. Maddox, a decent runner. Keith is ready to fire it in. Keith rocks and fires. Bruton looks at strike 3, 1 down. Meon, bat in hand. Keith now set. The pitch. It's back to him at the mound. Keith turns and throws to second in time for the out. And Meon is on the fielder's choice. 2 down. One on. We have McGriff to bat for the Braves. He bats from the left side. Batter set. Now Keith ready. First baseman Terry perched right in front of the bag. Keith kicks and delivers high. And Meon is off the bag. Bresnahan pumps. But he holds the wall. Ball 1. McGriff ready to take on Keith again. Keith looking home. The pitch. Popped high to the right side. Terry is backing up. Backing up. Into foul territory. He's circling under it. He stabs out. And he makes the catch. Tough play. That'll do it for Atlanta. No runs on 1 hit. 1 left. So the Braves fail to capitalize on the runner. Giants still with a 1-run deficit. Maddox will now face the bottom of the Giants lineup. Donlin, Jackson, and Keith coming up. Donlin starts it for the Giants. Known to work that ball pretty well so far this season. 4 for 8. He has 2 RBIs. He's walked once. He's stolen 1 base. Catcher ready. He lets 1 go. Lofted high to right. Aaron is there. He's got a beat on it. And Donlin is gone. 1 down. Now coming up, Jackson. Travis can pound the ball. To date at bat, 1 for 2. Travis has 1 homer on the season for ribbies. He's walked once. Jackson waiting. Bat stirring slightly.
All right, so Aaron, the difference between the two is a straight draft is just you go 1 to 30 and then back to 1 to 30 and so on and so forth. Serpentine draft goes from 1 to 30 and then backwards from 30 to 1. That's the difference. And yes, Paul Skeens is definitely a generational talent, and we need to hold on to that guy. It's just amazing. I don't know. The Pirates, pretty much a lot of the same squad last year, with Jack Sawinski, of course, Paul Skeens and O'Neill Cruz and whatever. And past 2 seasons, we were off to strong starts, but this year, wow, just not looking pretty. So, but again, we're just in April. I don't expect the Pirates to contend this year, but we got a good young squad there, and hopefully Kutch can kind of get these guys. Kutch can get these guys a little bit more motivated. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, back to the game. Here we go.
Maddox focuses in on the target. Here he comes. 1 hop to second, over to first. Notch 2. Here comes Keith to take his cuts. Tim taking his first at bat of the season. Batter waits. Catcher Torrey sets his target. Here's the delivery. And it's chopped down the first baseline. And Keith runs right into it. The ump signals. He's out. That's 3 away. So the Giants go in order. The score is still 1-0 Atlanta as we go to the top of the 4th inning. And that closes out the early innings of this game. For Atlanta, here in the 4th, Aaron, Matthews, and Torrey. To get it going for the Braves here, Aaron, bats right. Keith gets set to work on him. Keith winds and fires. Aaron nudges a little worm killer to second. He could beat this out. The quick snap from Rish, and Aaron is out at first. 1 away. Here's Matthews coming to the plate. Bresnahan ready to receive. Keith into his motion. Delivers. Routine grounder to second. Frisch scoops it. Flips the first for the second out. Braves hitter Torrey. Torrey steadies his bat. Catcher Bresnahan sets his target. The pitch. Torrey nudges a little worm killer to second. He could beat this out. The quick snap from Rish, and Torrey is out at first. Torrey thinks he won the race to the bag, but the ump just turns and walks away. 3 away. So the Braves go quietly. The score still stands 1-0. Giants down as we head for the bottom of the 4th inning. We're at the head of the order for the Giants. Maddox will face Youngs, Bresnahan, and Terry. Leading off, Youngs. Maddox looking in. The pitch. There's a bouncer to the left side, right where Jones is stationed. He takes his time with a peg and puts Youngs away easily. 1 down. Bresnahan's up. Bresnahan waiting. Maddox prepares to come home. The offering to Bresnahan. Fly ball left field. It's playable. Bruton moves under it, and he's got it. 2 down. Now Terry to face Maddox, left side batter. Batting third. 2 away. The slugger stands in. Pitcher Maddox eyeing Terry. Now he's ready. The pitch comes in. Right by him. That's 3 away. The Braves retire the side in order. We've played 4. Giants down 1-0. Bottom of the lineup, Murphy, Jones, and Maddox coming up. Murphy to lead it off for the Braves. He swings from the right. Keith prepares to come home. The delivery. Over but low, and Murphy takes first. And that's the first walk issued by Keith. Jones is now up. Exceptional power. Murphy will get a good jump. Atlanta starter Maddox pitching tough. To stay in this game, the Giants need to stop them here. They're down by 1. Keith is ready to fire it in. They're holding Murphy. Keith brings it. Swung on. Foul tip. Held by Bresnahan. Strikeout. 1 down. Here's a pitcher, Maddox, for Atlanta. 1 out, 1 on. Keith is ready to fire it in. Infield back at double play depth. The pitch comes in. He squares. Fouled off. Again, he squares to bunt. The pitch. Bunted fair off the plate. Nope. The ump says it's off his foot. Strike two. So Maddox will get back in there. Keith now set. First baseman Terry is on the bag. Infield back at double play depth. The two-strike pitch just catches the plate. See you later. 2 down. Two down, fifth inning, 1 on. It's now Bruton to bat. Bill is their leadoff man. Bill has a hit in 2 trips. The hitter stands in. Right-hander Keith, ready. To the plate. Hit hard to Jackson. He takes the high hop. Throws quickly to first. And that retires the side. That'll do it for Atlanta. No runs on no hits. 1 left. So the Braves failed to capitalize on the runner. The score still stands 1-0. Giants down as we head for the bottom of the 5th inning. For New York, here in the 5th, Ott, Lindstrom, and Frisch. Ott starts it for the Giants. Now Maddox, ready. Now the delivery. Didn't mean to swing. A slow roller to the left side. Jones will have to rush his throw, and he gets Ott. Nice play. 1 away. Next up, New York hitter Lindstrom. Fred can get on. Now Maddox, ready. Here's the pitch. Just over the knees, the plate up, thumbs him out, 2 down. Frisch is up next. Frank 0 for 1. Frisch with dependable power. Pitcher Maddox eyeing Frisch. Now he's ready. The pitch. Frisch tries to drag one, but Maddox is able to reach it. Shovels to McGriff, hustling back, and that's all for Frisch. So the Giants go in order. We've played 5. Giants still down by 1. And here comes the artillery for Atlanta. Meon, McGriff, and Aaron. To get it going for the Braves here. Meon, that's right. Not a lot of power. The batter stands in. Keith looking in. The pitch comes in. It's looped to right. Ott coming on. But he won't get it, and Meon is on at first. And that's his first hit this season. Next up, Atlanta hitter McGriff. Awesome power. Meon at first has wheel. Keith gets set to pitch. The delivery. Jams him on the hand. It rolls slowly toward short. Jackson charges in. Picks it up. Wings it to Terry. Not in time. And McGriff picks up a scratch base hit. And that's his first hit this season. It's now Aaron, the bat. The Braves have no outs. Runners at first and second. Aaron is a real slugger. On the season, Aaron has 3 runs batted in. Keith on the rubber. Checks Meon at second. The runners take their lead. Here's a pitch. It's a high fly to center. Donlin takes 3 steps to his right and makes the catch. Both runners are tagging, but they're holding them as the throw comes back in. Meon at second. McGriff at first. 1 away. Matthews up. Matthews is a real slugger. An RBI opportunity for Eddie. Keith climbs the mound, checks the runners. The runners take their lead. The pitch to Matthews. Upstairs with a fast one. Matthews doesn't offer, and that's ball number 4. And Matthews will get down to first. That fills the bases. And that's only the second walk issued by Keith. That was Matthews' first walk of the season. All right, Torrey now walks out to bat for Atlanta. Bases choked, one gone. Keith cannot afford to make a mistake to Torrey. An RBI opportunity for Joe. Torrey wipes his left sleeve across his forehead, wipes his hand across the letters, pumps the bat several times, glances down at first. Keith positions his mitt. The batter stands in, works his hands on the bat handle, leans in. Keith sets up on the rubber again. Giants playing for the double play. Keith brings it home on the ground. Back through the box. This could be two. Frisch feels it. Goes to second for one. Back to first. Yes, two for the price of one. And they get out of the inning. That'll do it for Atlanta. No runs on two hits. There were no errors. Two left. So the Braves failed to cash in on the two runners. Giants still with a one-run deficit. Bottom of the lineup, Donlin, Jackson, and Keith coming up. If you're superstitious, turn down the volume now. The no-hitter is still alive for Maddox. Donlin starts it for the Giants. Batter facing Maddox. Torrey set. He cranks and fires. There's a liner toward left. Bruton is coming in hard. He can't get it. It's on its way to the wall. Donlin's headed for second. He'll try for third. Murphy is over. He has the ball. Too late. Donlin ends up on third with a triple. Bruton tried to make a sliding catch, but the ball scooted by him toward New York. The first hit in this game, breaking up the no-hitter for Maddox with no out here in the sixth. That puts the tying run at third for Donlin. His first triple of the season. Jackson is out to take his hacks. Donlin on third. Travis, a strong hitter. He almost always puts the ball into play. Donlin will score on just about any fly ball. That's the tying run. Maddox shakes out his right arm. Jackson takes his place in the box, bends his shoulders, leans in. Maddox sets up on the rubber again. Infield deep. Speeded Donlin, edging down the line. The offering. Hit hard toward the gap in right center. Aaron races back. He won't get it. It's off the wall. Donlin trots home. Tie ball game. And Jackson cruises into second. Double and an RBI. So the double scores one big one, and the Giants have tied this game. Just listen to that crowd. For Jackson, his first double of the season, and Jackson now has 5 runs batted in on the season. No outs, 6th inning, 1 on. Next up, pitcher Keith. And the fans are giving him a hand. Deft-footed Jackson at second. Get him across, and the Giants lead. Maddox is on the slab, glances back at the runner. Infield playing in a few paces. Jackson moves quietly toward third. The delivery from Maddox. Keith squares. Bunted back to the mound. Maddox has it. Looks at third, but fires to McGriff at first. The throw is wild into right field. Jackson scores. Giants lead. And Keith cruises into second. That'll be an error on Maddox. That was the pitcher, Keith, who got that started, helping his team. And the Giants break the tie and now lead 2-1 here in the 6th. For New York, no one out. Keith standing out at second, up by 1. Young's up. Ross has done nothing in 2 trips. Keith at second can move if he's prodded. Maddox on the rubber. Right-handed Maddox goes to the set position. The pitch. High fly ball, right field. Aaron trots over, taps the glove, makes the catch. Keith is tagging. Aaron sets, but the coach flashes a stop sign as the ball is fired back in. 1 on, the bottom of the 6th inning. We have Bresnahan coming up to hit. He hits from the right. Bresnahan 0 for 2. Keith can fool you with his speed. Maddox on the rubber. His motion stopped. Checks Keith at second. Pitcher steps off. Maddox is back on the rubber. The pitch. Bresnahan skies it to left. Should be no trouble. Bruton drifts over for it and records the putout. Keith is tagging, but they'll hold him there as the throw comes in. Two away, 6th inning, 1 on. Terry is stepping up to hit against Maddox. He bats left-handed. Bill has done nothing in 2 trips. The slugger stands in. Torres sets up. The pitch. Ooh! Terry flails the air, but fails to make contact with the wall. He heads back to the bench. That's 3 away. The line for the Giants, 2-2-1. They leave 1. New York goes out in front after 6, 2-1 Giants. Keith will now face the bottom of the Braves lineup. Murphy, Jones, and Maddox coming up. Murphy will lead off the 7th. He hits from the right. Murphy waiting for Keith. Pitcher Keith eyeing Murphy. Now he's ready. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Called strike 3. 1 down. Okay, now Jones to face Keith. He'll bat from the left this time. 1 out. Base is clear. When the Braves need a base runner, Jones is the guy they want up there. Bresnahan ready to receive. The pitch comes in. Wrapped back to the mound, and he spears it. Over to first, and Jones is retired. Now coming to bat for the Braves, Maddox. At the plate this season, he's 1 for 2. Bresnahan crouched down now. Now Keith pitches. Grounded to the right side, wide of first. And it squirts by Terry, and on into right for a base hit. And Maddox has himself a single. Greg with his 2nd hit in this game. Well, Maddox on at first, 2 away. Atlanta now sends Bruton to bat, hitting from the left side. Bruton 1 for 3. Pitcher Keith eyeing Bruton. Now he's ready. The pitch. Bruton doesn't offer, and he draws a free pass. And that moves the tying run into scoring position. 2 on, the top of the 7th inning. Meon up to bat. Not a lot of power. A chance to drive in a run here. He singled earlier. Keith put on the rubber, checks the runners. Keith rocks and fires. Popped high to the left side. Lindstrom moves toward the line. He camps under it. This should do it. And he brings it down. That'll do it for Atlanta. No runs on 1 hit. 2 men left on base. The Giants have held them. The score still stands 2-1 Giants as we head for the bottom of the 7th inning. Okay, folks, on your feet. Take a break for the 7th inning stretch. Lindstrom and Frisch due up for New York. Ott will get it started for the Giants. Left side batter. Mel, a strong hitter. Right-handed Maddox goes to the set position. The pitch is on the way. Lined to right center. That's good for extra bases. Murphy is chasing it down, but there's nothing he can do. Ott cruises into second. For Ott is first. Double of the season, and that's his first hit this season. Lindstrom up the bat. Ott on second. Up by 1. Fred is hitless in 2 at-bats. The slugger stands in. Maddox on the rubber. Checks Ott at second. The pitch. Hit like a shot. Neon waves on it, but it's by him into right. Ott rounds third. The throw comes into McGriff, and they're holding Ott at third. Runners at the corner. Frisch steps up to face Maddox. A productive power hitter. He rarely strikes out. Maddox will go to work on him. Infield back at double play depth. And the pitch grounded deep into the hole. Jones is over. He dives for it, and he's got it. But he holds the wall. He doesn't have a play. Ott scores. And Lindstrom moves to second. So Frisch with a ribby single, and the Giants add to their lead. This ball game now 3-1, and Frisch now has 5 runs batted in on the season. Next to bat for New York is the left-hand hitting Donlin. Lindstrom at second, Frisch at first, no outs. A dangerous hitter. Donlin in the box. And here comes Braves manager McCoy. He's asking Maddox for the ball. Coming in to relieve Maddox is Camp. So Maddox goes 6 innings. His line, 3 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits. He fans 3. He's responsible for the runners. He can only lose it. For Camp, this is his first appearance. He's a right-handed pitcher. He'll be looking for the double play. Camp is finished with his warm-up pitches. The umpire is brushing off the plate. We're ready to go. Catcher Torrey sets his target. The runners take their lead. The pitch, Donlin hits in the air to right center field. Aaron is over. He has it. Both runners are tagging. The coach is waving him to third. He's throwing to third. And the runners in standing. Frisch retreats and holds first. All right, Jackson is out to take his hacks. And he hacks from the right. The Giants have 1 out, runners at first and third. Camp cannot afford to make a mistake to Jackson. He almost always puts the ball into play. Jackson waiting for Camp. Right-hander Camp, ready. Infielders back. The pitch from Camp. High fly ball to deep center. Murphy is racing back. It's a tweener. It one-hops the wall. Murphy corrals the ball. Lindstrom scores. Frisch rounds third. They're waving him in. Here comes a throw home. Here's a play at the plate. And he's in standing. And Jackson holds with a double. So the double scores 2. The score now 5-1. And Jackson now has 7 runs batted in on the season. Keith getting ready to go. Batter ready. Camp set. Infield playing in a few paces. Camp working on Jackson to hold him close. Now Camp pitches. Keith squares. Foul ball. Again, he squares to bunt, and he fouls it back. Strike 2. Keith ready to take on Camp again. Camp poised. Infield looking for the bunt. Speedy Jackson edging toward third. The two-strike pitch. Keith lifts one. Hits a big league pop-up. Going back is Mion, waving his arms. He calls off Aaron and makes the catch. Two gone. Young's up. Exceptional power. Camp will go to work on him. Jackson now with an aggressive lead. The pitch from Camp. Slow chopper toward Jones. He charges it. Surrounds it. Juggles it. He'll go to first. Giants go down. For the Giants, 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no errors. 1 left. So the Giants now with a safer margin. The score is 5-1 as we go to the top of the 8th inning. New York will now face the heart of the Braves lineup. McGriff, Aaron, and Matthews coming up. To get it going, McGriff. McGriff knows how to get on base. Bresnahan ready to receive. Now Keith comes home with it. Hot shot to the right side. Frisch to his left. Funny bounce. Knocks it down. Throws quickly to first. Not in time. And they're giving him the base hit. That's McGriff's second hit of the game. Next up, Atlanta hitter Aaron. Braves need to put men on base now. Right-hander Keith ready. Now he comes home with it. Swung on, foul tip. In the dirt, strike 1. So Aaron will get back in there. Pitcher Keith eyeing Aaron. Now he's ready. The pitch. He goes the opposite way. High fly deep to right. Got a good jump. He's at the warning track. And brings it down. That's out number 1. McGriff gets back to first as the throw comes in. Next batter, Matthews. 1 run won't do it for the Braves. Bresnahan ready to receive. The pitch. And Matthews belts it deep to right. Retreats to the wall. Does he have room? His eyes are skyward. And the ball is out of here. A 2-run dinger. So they collect 2 on the Matthews homer, his first home run of the season, and the Braves get 2 back. They trail by 2, 5-3, and Matthews now has 2 runs batted in on the season. We have Torrey to bat for the Braves. Joe is 0 for 3. Torrey knows how to get on base. Keith prepares to come home. The pitch. Torrey draws a walk. Wait a minute. The ump says it's strike 3. Torrey was already heading for first. He can't believe it. 2 away. Okay, 2 gone. The top of the 8th inning. We have Murphy to bat for the Braves. Murphy had his 3rd homer earlier in this game. Dale 1 for 2 with a walk. In the on-deck circle, Jones follows the moves on the mound. The slugger waits. Murphy settles himself in the box. Keith staring in, ready to work. Keith comes to him. In the dirt, ball 1. Murphy back in the box. Bresnahan sets up. Here comes the pitch. Murphy dribbles one to the left of the mound. Keith can't reach it. Jackson charges in, grabs it, and throws in one motion. And nips Murphy at first. That's the 3rd out. For the Braves, 2 runs on 2 hits. They score, but still trail by 2 after 7.5. 5-3, Giants. And here comes the artillery for New York. Bresnahan, Terry, and Ott. All right. To get it going for the Giants. Here, Bresnahan. He swings from the right. Roger, ready. Camp looking home. He cranks and fires. Hot shot to the right side. Mion to his left. Pebble bounce. Juggles it. Throws quickly to first and gets him by a hair. One away. We have Terry coming up to hit. Terry steps up to the plate. Camp prepared to work. Now Camp comes home with it. Cut on, ripped to right centered. Aaron gallops for it, but he cuts it off. Terry wisely holds first. One down, Terry on at first. Ott is stepping up to hit against Camp. He's their cleanup hitter. Ott 1 for 3. And he scored once. Ott ready. Torrey ready to receive. Space on the right. The offering from Camp. Swung on. One hop of the second. Shovels to Jones. For 1. Back to first. Not in time. Ott beats it out. But they get the lead runner. 2 down. Okay, folks, listen up. New York now sends Lindstrom to bat for New York. 2 gone. Ott on first. Lindstrom is 1 for 3, and he scored once. Lindstrom steadies his bat. Camp gets set to pitch. Now Camp pitches. Chopped over the middle. Camp leaps and can't reach it. Jones and Mion go for it. It gets through. A seeing eye job. Ott is well around second. They're waving him on, and he gets over to third as the throw comes in. And Lindstrom is on with a single. Second hit for Lindstrom in the game. Okay, Giants with runners at first and third. 2 gone. The bottom of the 8th inning. Next up, Frisch. Frisch 1 for 3. He's driven in a run. And he scored a run. Frisch now ready. Pitcher Camp eyeing Frisch. Now he's ready. At third, Ott takes a short lead. The pitch, a towering fly ball to left center. Murphy is racing over, still after it, and makes the catch. The line for the Giants. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. They leave 2. Giants still leading by 2. For Atlanta, here in the 9th, Jones, Camp, and Bruton. Jones to lead it off for the Braves. He'll bat from the left this time. It's hard to keep Jones off the base pass. In the on-deck circle, Camp follows the moves on the mound. The slugger waits. Here's a defensive change by McCoy. McCoy is sending in Thompson. He'll be playing left field for New York. Youngs is out. Keith sets up on the rubber again. Unlikely that Camp will bat next. Right-handed Keith goes to the set position. The pitch. Slice to Lindstrom. Room service bounce. The long throw to first. And they get him. 1 down. Camp is scheduled to hit. We'll have to wait to see if he bats for himself. Camp walking up the bat. Rick taking his first at bat of the season. They want to see him get on. Keith climbs the mound. Keith looking home. Braves manager McCoy looking at his score sheet. You can mark pitcher Camp out for the Braves. McCoy not letting him bat. Carty will now hit for him. That's right. He grabs a bat. Strides toward the box. Camp pitched 2 innings. The line on him. No runs. On 3 hits. Carty's up. Carty at the plate to hit. This is his second game on the season. 0 for 1. Rico does get on. Keith put on the rubber. Bruton swings 3 bats on deck. Now Keith ready. The pitch to Carty. The swing, and it's pulled hard to left. Thompson is racing to the line. He cuts it off. Fires to second. But Carty wisely holds first. He's on with a single. And that's his first hit this season. 1 out, 9th inning, 1 on. Atlanta now sends Bruton to bat, hitting from the left side. Bruton has a hit and a walk in 4 appearances. A double play would hurt. And with Carty on first, the Giants have a good chance. Bruton pulls at his sleeve. Keith positions his mitt. Keith inspects the ball. The ump using his broom to clean off the plate. The batter stands in. Leans in. Keith on the rubber. Righty against lefty. Keith gets set to pitch. And now the pitch. Wide of the mark. And Bruton walks. And that puts the tying run at first. Meon walks up. He bats right. Carty at second. Bruton at first. 1 out. Down by 2. A chance to drive in a run here. Meon has a hit in 4 trips. Bruton pawing the ground at first. Knock him in, and that knots it. The Giants lead the Braves 5-3. Meon preparing himself. Keith bends for the rosin bag. Fixes a cleat. Batter in the box. Waits for the pitch. Keith is on the slab. Keith staring in. Ready to work. He breathes deeply. Exhales. The delivery from Keith. Lifted high to right. Ott chasing it down and takes it in. Both runners are tagging, but they're holding them as the throw comes back in. Okay, folks, listen up. 2 outs. Carty on second. Bruton on first. Down by 2. The top of the 9th inning. McGriff now walks out to bat. He bats left-handed. McGriff is a real slugger. McGriff has been up 4 times with 2 hits, and he scored a run. McGriff readying himself, works the bat across his back. Keith works the ball with his hand. Keith shakes out his right arm, climbs up to the mound. If the Braves are going to score, then it will take a 2-out hit. The batter stands in, leans in. Keith sets up on the rubber again. Right-hander Keith, ready. The runners take their lead. The delivery, McGriff lunges at it, and that's it. The Giants have won it, spurred on by the disciplined leadership of McCoy. The Braves leave the tying run on. The Giants sneak by the Braves 5-3. Here's the line for the Giants. 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. They lead 4 for the Braves. 3 runs on 9 hits, 1 error. And they lead 9. Keith gets the win, his first. His record now 1-0. Maddox takes the loss, his first. His record now 0-1. So that winds up this 3-game series. Giants take the series 2-1 for the Giants. Overall, they now stand at 2-1. The Braves overall 1-2. That's it for this time. Until next time, this is APBA and Ernie Harwell saying so long from New York. Giants take this one from the Braves 5-3.
One of the many, many things I love in this game and what still keeps it so fresh after all this time is the fact that, again, we all know it's not just a mere narrator or anything, but just how this was programmed for tense moments of the games and certainly how this game sort of changed complexion. Greg Maddux with a no-hitter going into the 5th inning and just completely dominating the Giants in the first half of the game and then coming back. This was a good game. Congratulations to the Florida Gators, by the way. As to Cubs to Bears, been too long since we've seen you, my good friend. He says the crime dog was euthanized. So, yeah, there we go, man. Just that was 3 broadcasts today, all kind of short, and we got some good. Let's see, to finish out this game here, or this day. A good one will be coming up when I decide to do this league again. We're going to see Rue Waddell against Early Win. I think that's going to be a fun matchup. We got Urban Shocker against Mark Gubaza. So we got a few good ones here, and this season really will start to kick off more. As you see, we have a full slate of games over here. So again, this is very, very tweaked. This is 30 teams, I believe, 30 or 32, whatever. But again, it's that the Brooklyn Dodgers and LA Dodgers have their own separate teams. The San Francisco, New York Giants, each with their separate teams. St. Louis Browns, Baltimore Orioles, different. Boston, Milwaukee Braves are on one team, and the Atlanta Braves on another. So it's really, really, it's a lot of fun. So I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight for a little bit of Ernie Harwell, and it's a lot of fun for people. Can be at work tomorrow, maybe to listen to after the fact, get you a good radio vibe. And also in June, I believe it is. Is it June? No, it's not. I have to look again. But anyhow, Saber will be interviewing the programmers of this game, the Miller brothers. And I've got to work that night, unfortunately. But I know Saber always archives their stuff. You do not need to be a member of Saber to get to this interview. It's going to be done by Zoom. So we'll have to get that link, pass it around. If you are a Saber member, you probably will have gotten the email link already, and the link to the Zoom chat. It's going to be really fun. Just imagine, all the hard work that Ernie Harwell did. And they're saying the first and last names of every baseball player from 1871 to 1997, then plus the way they just worked in his calls, how this Ernie Harwell announcer knows when it's a tight game, and things like that. When it's a blowout, it's funny, and how you still will hear him say certain things. There'll be some repeats, but certain things you've never heard him say before. This game is still very much a masterpiece. And it's my fond wish, though I don't think it's going to happen, that John Herson will maybe take the next step, either into using AI or, maybe get somebody like John Miller to pick up from 1998 onward. It would be fantastic to have, 2 announcers to choose from. So that is it. It was something. I renamed Brooklyn the Bums because I didn't want Ernie to say, the Dodgers are leading the Dodgers. I thought that was weird. So since Brooklyn was lovingly known by its own fans as the Bums, changed it to that. But if you were a fan of any other ball club and you called them the Bums, the good folks in Flatbush, my understanding from reading all that would have definitely had some words with you. So yeah, Aaron had to rename them the Bums, which is fun. I think it's going to be great. I don't know when Brooklyn is going to be playing. I don't think on this day. So we'll be seeing the Brooklyn Bums pretty soon. Looks to me, where the hell is Brooklyn here? Just really quick before we sign off, I've got to see if they've even played yet. So offline, I'm replaying 1949, and that's been a fun one. That's a great season to replay. I keep talking about that one. I rank that up there. It's not quite 1908, but it's a hell of a season to replay. So if you want to get back into some old time baseball, so Brooklyn won their first game 9-1 against Florida. They will play these New York Giants. Not for a while yet, but it's going to be Amos Russi versus Don Newcomb. So that's going to be a fun one once things kick off on not our April 10th, but April 10th on the calendar here. So this is super fun. So Aaron says if he had an agent, he would do commentary for this game. You know what? I mean, somebody with a good voice like you, like legends like Chris Slovic, maybe John Herson would consider maybe paying somebody a few $1,000s to pick up where Ernie left off. So not to kind of take over, but maybe even just pick up where he left off. Although it would be better if that person would kind of do what Ernie did. So that way you wouldn't have, if you were doing an all era type thing like this, and you would have, say, somebody like John Miller or Aaron Reed doing this, and it would be an earlier team, and you would hear that sort of first, just first letter or whatever. That would be kind of disjointed. To be a lot of work from 1871 to 2025. But maybe, come on, Mr. Herson. This is such a great product, and it holds up after all of these years. Yeah, John Miller, big Strat player. Yep. D. Scott Howard says, heard a great story about John Miller playing Strat in his hotel room midnight after calling a live game. Oh, yeah. Big time cards and dice player, John Miller. And so maybe he wasn't an APBA player, but who knows? Maybe he could be persuaded. I don't know. Of course, with AI these days, maybe, as that comes down, I know that Marcus Heinsohn had commented at one point in Out of the Park Baseball that once it gets to be a bit more cost effective, that might be something they would consider, because with AI, you really just need a couple good samples of a person's voice and good to go. I mean, it'd be a lot of work, but smart money is on Out of the Park Baseball to pick up kind of where APBA left off. But if I can remember, I will definitely I will check my email, because Mike Mitchum, who's a regular here, part of the family, sent me the link for that. So hopefully somebody will remind me in the comments, because I do always read comments, so that I can get the link up there. I think it's going to be really, really fascinating. Again, this technology is 1995. And the Ernie Harwell announcer blows away the MLB the show announcer, just completely obliterates them. All of them. So I would love to see that going. I don't know whether, again, who knows? Wish we could get a petition, but there's not a big enough community, I think, of baseball simmers to say, come on, John, make it happen. Make it happen. Get Aaron Reed up here. The Cubs and Bears says, sadly, once saw Brooklyn play at Wrigley before they moved west. Don't remember if Jackie Robinson was on the team then. Wow, just to have seen the Brooklyn Dodgers, that would have been so cool. Certainly with Jackie there, that's icing on the cake. But to see the Brooklyn Dodgers, it's one of my all-time favorite franchises. What an amazing history the Brooklyn Dodgers had. And of course, called by many names. They didn't become the Dodgers officially until the 1930s, but they were Superbas, the Bridegrooms, the Robins, what have you. The Dodger, the Symphony Band and Hilda Chester, and just Ebbets Field. I would have loved to have seen a game. Certainly, I mean, I've seen a game at Wrigley. What a beautiful ballpark. Certainly, the oldest park in the majors, or second oldest park in the majors. I'm sorry, Fenway Park's the oldest. But to imagine what it would have been like to see a game at Ebbets Field, the Abe Stark sign there, and just, I don't know, just all of it, and go back, maybe just go back far enough for Red Barber's calling the games with Vin Scully, right, getting his schooling there from Red Barber. And wow, I don't know, I just love it. I just love it. Now, I mentioned 1949, so great books out there about the 1949 season. There's all kinds of good stuff. Brooklyn, even if you're not a Dodgers fan, I mean, just exploring the franchise and the characters that they had, the fans, the players, just absolutely brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. Back in the good old days that I didn't get to see, but would have been fun to see. Pure baseball, and baseball, I mean, some great baseball played there and some really bad baseball too. Imagine being at that Giants Brooklyn game, Dodgers game in 1951. The shot heard around the world, right? 1951, Brooklyn is dominant for most of the season. They go into a swoon. The Giants come on strong, comes down to that game. And Bobby Thompson, Boom. I said Johnny Thompson earlier. I was thinking of a great magician named Johnny Thompson. I don't know why it popped into my head. But Bobby Thompson, imagine being at that game. Wow. That would have been something. Of course, Russ Hodges loses he has a cow. And, of course, I think the best call in that game was Red Barber. He said, yeah, the Giants won. That was pretty much it. Good stuff, right? So DeCubs Bear says he would have loved to have seen a game at the Polo Grounds. Absolutely. How about it? So D. Scott Howard, who is a Dodgers fan, up there in the state of Washington, but he's a Dodgers fan, and I know he knows a bit about the bums, the Brooklyn Dodgers. I just, it was almost like Brooklyn was sort of flipping the bird to Manhattan. Brooklyn was its own city until, was it 1890 something or other, late 1890s or sometime in the 1890s. But Brooklyn was its own city and then was incorporated as a borough into the city of New York. And everything that I've read about Brooklyn and the Dodgers and that special relationship that the borough had, they were the only entity at that time, the original 16, they were a team that they were represented by a borough, right? Everybody else, Chicago, Pittsburgh, New York, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Detroit, on and on and on, were all cities. And then you had Brooklyn, the borough of Brooklyn. And everybody, that was the thing. I've talked before, and then we'll get off of here. What was it, 1953? I think it was. Gil Hodges is in a terrible slump. It's 52 or 53 or something. And it's a hot day. It's some Catholic church in the Flatbush section of Brooklyn. And the priest cut the homily short, wanted to get everybody out so they could get home and whatever. And he just said, look, we're not going to do a long homily today, but say a prayer for Gil Hodges, get out of the slump. And apparently Hodges went like 3 for 4, 4 for 4 that day, broke out of the slump, and the Dodgers start to go on a tear. So just great story. Aaron says he's been to Cooperstown before, and he and his dad drove 14 hours to visit. I have never been to the Baseball Hall of Fame, to my shame. I have never been there. I've got a week off in June and a week off in August, and I'm really, really thinking to go see my folks. They live up in northern Pennsylvania, so that would cut some of the time off and maybe make the pilgrimage to Cooperstown from Bradford County, PA, up there by the shores of Lake Otsego. And I'm actually more interested. I know you have to make an appointment. I'm actually more interested in the library part of it. I'd love to just make an appointment, go in and just look. As a person who worked in libraries, I would love to especially visit the library part of it. Certainly the Hall of Fame is cool with the plaques and everything like that, I'm sure, but the library and what treasures must be there. And they're occasionally hiring. The problem is I have a master's in education, and they want a master's in library science. It's like I qualify in every other thing, but I have the wrong damn master's degree. I would quit my job at FedEx yesterday, and I would live in a refrigerator box if that's what it took to work for the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. That would be amazing. They're like closed like 1 day a year or something like that, or 2 days a year. They would have to they would actually have to shackle me in my little flat or refrigerator box to not come to work. I would really, oh my God. Never going to happen. But one can dream. Jamie, I wanted to ask you a quick question. I was going through just some homebrew stuff for Diamond Mine Baseball. Is that you that did? There's a lot of home brews up there. Was that you, Jamie, that did those? Because it just hit me. I'm like, holy shit, is that Jamie? So I thought I would ask. The Cubs Bear says he lives in Syracuse, about 90 minutes from Cooperstown. He's been to the Hall of Fame about 5 times. Damn it. Yeah, I got to get there. So maybe I could get a job at Syracuse University, and at least I'd be closer. Because right now, from where I am in Pennsylvania to Cooperstown, not a 14-hour drive, but I think it's about 9. So Jamie says it was. Used to do a lot of this for Diamond Mine. Thank you, my friend. Those are awesome. What you've done. In fact, I'm using one of them in this sort of chinwag league that I'm setting up and working on, and so was able to avail myself. But I saw it and I'm like, that is that our Jamie. So cool. All right. Good to know. All right, guys, that is it. It's not a Saturday night, so we're not going to keep this going any longer. I hope you enjoyed the game, and for those of you at work tomorrow, catching it. And one more announcement. We're going to have Paul Fay on tomorrow night. So he's the guy who, excellent job. He's doing all the play testing for Pocket Pennant Run baseball. So we're going to have Paul on tomorrow night. He is from Liverpool, same town as my favorite band. And coming to us, though, from Cyprus. So he lives in Cyprus. So Paul's going to be on 7-hour time difference. So we're going to be on about 10 p.m. Eastern. And so for Paul, that's going to be like ungodly early in the morning. But he is totally about coming on. So it'll be about 5 a.m. for him. So look forward to that. I want to talk about how a Scouser becomes a baseball fan. Most people from Liverpool, there's one famous baseball fan from there. Paul McCartney is a baseball fan. But I want to find out how a guy from Liverpool becomes a baseball fan. London makes a little bit more sense, but Liverpool should be fun. So I hope you guys would join us. Oh my God. And there's Mike coming in, blaspheming. Oh my goodness. We're talking about Liverpool and he's talking about a band from London. Yikes. Anyhow, Mike, that was a good game tonight. Didn't give anybody any spoilers. So just a reminder to everybody, if you haven't caught it, do please catch it. Mike is also doing a one and done tournament. He's doing it differently than what I'm doing. It's more modern teams. So you guys will really like that part. But he's doing it more like a March Madness type tournament. So he already has the 2 top seeds, the 78 Yankees, 75 Reds. So tonight's game was the 1984 Tigers against the 1993 Blue Jays. No spoilers on that. He's doing that in Stratomatic. So Mike always has something good cooking on his channel and everybody else here. And Mike, I will forgive, 98 Yankees. What did I say? I'm sorry, the 98 Yankees. And in the American League, in the 75 Reds in the National League. I can't wait until he does the 71 Pirates against the 80 Phillies, and hopefully Ken Castro's there at the same time as I am, so we can battle it out there. Battle of the Commonwealth of PA. Well, that's another weird one too. Here's a dude from New England as a Phillies fan. Weird stuff. But then we got D. Scott Howard. He's in the Pacific Northwest. He's up there in Washington State. He's a Dodger fan. So we have such a fun community. So Mike, Stones, good band. They ain't the Beatles, but they're a good band. I'll give you that. All right? I will definitely give you that. I don't want to get into a little match about Beatles and Stones. Besides, Paul McCartney just played on their latest album. And Ronnie Wood has been doing a lot of stuff with McCartney. So they kind of that whole the 2 bands were friends. They were competitors, but they were friends. So I do like the Stones. I do think though that in terms of a pure rock band, I think the Who kicks their ass, but that's just me. I do like the Rolling Stones. I think Gimme Shelter is one of the greatest songs ever written. Ruby Tuesday is fantastic. So yeah, very, very good band. I think had Brian Jones not died, it would have been interesting to see the direction the Stones would have gone. And there was even some talk that the Beatles actually wanted Brian Jones to join them, and he liked the Beatles better than the Stones, and Brian Jones founded the Rolling Stones. So, but guess we'll never, ever know. But a Stones a good band, definitely a good band. Satisfaction, excellent song, but sort of like Yesterday from the Beatles, overplayed. Oh my God. It's like, because the Stones do have so many great songs. And again, my favorite favorite Rolling Stones song is "Gimme Shelter." That's such a powerful, powerful song, and really, really encapsulates not only the 1960s, but you know what? It's relevant today in what's going on in our country and what have you. Just such an amazing song. Mick Jagger just really pulling it out, and this isn't Mick just whacking about on stage. Just a very, very good, strong song, and the backup vocals just astounding. But oh my God, 19th Nervous Breakdown. You go back to some old Stones there, good stuff. So I'm a Beatles fan who, I don't hate the Stones. I don't hate the Stones at all. Some great songs from that band from London. So now and then, one of the Beatles' newest, that is their final song. "Sympathy for the Devil" is a fantastic song. It really, really is. Yeah. I mean, the Stones they had a few clunkers, but, I think that the Stones kind of learned their lesson, because they were kind of sort of following what the Beatles would do. So when the Beatles came out with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Stones came out with Satanic Majesty's Request. And it really is just not to the level of Sgt. Pepper's, and the Stones get back to their own roots. And I think that, that was good. But an amazing storied career. And, let's face it. I mean, the guys are legends. And, for those of us who know music, whether we grew up with those two bands, and I didn't grow up, well, I mean, kind of the Stones, because they're still around. But I didn't grow up with the Beatles, but I know their music. They're the reason I'm a musician. And you know what? At the end of the day, we're blessed to have we can still listen to music of that caliber from the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. And let's add in Pink Floyd and the Who. And certainly, back in the days when there was no auto-tune and you actually had to be able to play your instrument. How about it? So yeah, Now and Then is a beautiful, beautiful song. Quick story about that one, Mike. That's partially the backstory to that song. It's partially about Paul McCartney, believe it or not. I don't know if you know this or not, but one of the very last times that John and Paul spoke, and Paul McCartney was talking about this in an interview when Now and Then came out, was finally released this year. He said that one of the last things that John said to me, he said, "Just think of me now and then, old friend." And that's pretty amazing. What that the relationship, the two, and I will say this, and people can type against me all day in the chat. The two greatest songwriters in rock, John Lennon and Paul McCartney. John said that his two greatest discoveries in life were Paul McCartney and Yoko. That relationship that they had. You can find it on YouTube. There's a movie called Two of Us. And I promise this will be my last comment. So back in the 1970s, late 70s, on Saturday Night Live, Lorne Michaels did it as it was an improv little joke, because it was 1976, I think it was. So all these entities were offering the Beatles like ridiculous amounts of money. I think it was the UN wanted them to do something. It was going to be $60 million to play a half-hour concert, what have you. So this was going on, and there were some big rumors that, there were talks about it. And in fact, Paul McCartney did confirm that around 1978, the four of them were talking about doing something. And of course, that all came to an end in 1980. So Lorne Michaels comes on and he holds up a check, and you can see this on YouTube. It's $3,500. He says, "I'm offering the Beatles right now." And I mean, it's such a joke, right? The biggest band ever. You're going to give them $3,500. And of course, made the joke. He said, "Well, you guys can split it up, or you can decide how much you want to give to Ringo." Well, at that time, John Lennon and Paul McCartney are at John's Dakota apartment, which is not far from Rockefeller Center, walking distance. They're watching this, and Lennon and McCartney had actually considered going down to Rockefeller Center as a surprise and walking on stage. Turned out John was too tired. It didn't happen, but imagine if it would. And this story, Two of Us, It's about John and Paul and sort of that little joke, but it's really nice. Aidan Quinn does a great job as Paul McCartney in there. I'm trying to remember the actor who played John Lennon also, but an excellent movie. It really, it's just those two guys, and it's a great movie. It's called Two of Us. Check it out. Whether you're a Beatles fan or not, it's a real good movie about the relationship of two of the two greatest songwriters in rock. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. Baseball, we did 3 today, and it was fun. Thank you to Cubs the Bears, to Sports Time Machine, STJ Jamie, Aaron Reed, and a small but lively crowd here tonight. Tessier Ashpool, congratulations to the Florida Gators. Nathaniel, Advocate 8 Nate, was in here with us. In fact, he was the first one in the ballpark. And we got everybody. So see you tomorrow night about 10 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be talking to Paul Fay. Till then, see you around the batting cage, guys.